Good morning, everybody. It finally showed up. The handheld I've been waiting on. Anbernic's RG34XX. Now, I wasn't sure I was going to go in for this one. Um, I don't know. I mean, I had a Game Boy Advance. You know, I put a new screen in it. Loved the thing. Felt great. I was able to play on it for, quite a long time. However, I just didn't know if this would really get there for me. You know what I mean? And I watched stuff on it myself, and everybody was like, "Oh man, it's like a one for one shot versus the Game Boy Advance." It seems that way. Uh, I didn't expect to like it as much as I do. Uh, as soon as I pulled it out the box, picked it up, held it, I was like, "Oh, okay." So yeah, I absolutely love it. We're gonna go over it. Of course, being the 34XX means it has a 3.4-inch screen, so you're gonna get that Game Boy Advanced resolution. Of course, I believe this is what, three times the resolution, but the scaling is on par with GBA. They put the buttons and speaker and everything in the same exact spot as the original GBA. Even the screw holes on the back are all in the same spot. I mean, you even get these little gray plastic bumpers on the side. Button placement. I do like the fact that they tried to color match that to hide your X and Y buttons to make it look a lot more authentic. I like that. I like that a lot. I mean, I do wish they just got rid of them. Whatever. It's close enough. Now, when they showed this for the first time, and I seen these back here, these short little guys, I wasn't sure I'd like that. It felt like there would be a problem with how short those are. And your finger does rest on it. Right there. You get the fingertip right there. And I was thinking when I seen them that randomly I might completely miss and hit like right here. I have done that. Uh, Not in any like crucial gaming moment where that caused an issue, but I've missed hit over here. No, it's probably just how I hold my hands. As you guys know, I have weird grips for things, so that's probably just me. The SD slots, they're a little in there. To be honest, getting a card in and out really sucks. I had to use another SD card and push against that one to eject it. Now, of course, they sent me one full of games. I had, the internal cards that one brand, I don't know how to say it, I'm going to butcher it, but, this one right here, it's one of these. I don't feel like saying the name. I'm going to butcher the name. Don't want to say it. So, I've never really fully tested one of those. I keep hearing that they're just knockoff of this, knockoff of that. So they're a good card and they shouldn't fail. So you know what? We're going to try that. I'm going to keep that card in there. Now I put one of my SD cards in for the ROMs because they sent me a 64 gig unbranded straight just black card that says 64 gig on it, full of games. First thing I did is go check Portmaster to see if they sent me something full of ports that I'm going to get mad about. Stardew, Balatro, things like that. Went to Portmaster. Nope, all they had was the freeware stuff, and I appreciate that beyond belief. Now for this handheld, I'm not going to go through and set up Portmaster. I'm probably not going to put MuOS on it. I'm not going to put Newly, anything like that. I'm going to leave this more than likely stock operating system. Now, I used my own card because the card they sent me, of course, had games from, CPS, PlayStation, MAME, N64. It was loaded. So I put my own card in it, and this is all I put on it. Nintendo, Super Nintendo, Game Boy, Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advanced. That is it. Just the console's limited to being able to use mainly two face buttons and shoulders, with the exception of Super Nintendo needing all four face buttons. I only put Super Nintendo on it because, honestly, Super Nintendo doesn't look bad at this resolution. I think it looks great. Honestly, it really does. So, now a couple things I have noticed, and I completely forgot to bring another handheld with me to show the difference. The D-pad, I've noticed how much smaller this D-pad is. Okay? I don't have another handheld, but there's my 8-bit controller. That is a huge difference in D-pad size. I haven't noticed it, it hasn't been a problem, but it is definitely smaller. I mean, you cover the whole thing. So, you get your start and select right here. Of course, like I said, same layout as a Game Boy Advance. Speaker, BA, then your color matched YX. Small, tiny little D-pad. Anbernic got a little D. Just a little itty bitty D. Anyway, start, select. On the bottom, you get your power button over here. Get your headphone jack. Now, you get this volume rocker. I know it's supposed to be like the volume wheel on a Game Boy Advance. This guy is sensitive as shit. So, and it's literally just kind of like a rocker switch. So you just push it to the right, push it to the left, and it bounces right back to the middle. So, it's pretty sensitive once you're in game. You can't land on an exact number very easily. Not too big of a problem. You can get within the audio range that you want. And full blast, that little mono speaker, is actually pretty damn loud. A couple things that also I've noticed. Well, one major thing I've been noticing. Right there. On each side, that corner, that back corner of the L and R buttons is very sharp. And you're going to feel it now and again. It will poke you. I mean, it's sharp. I mean, not when you're using it. When you have your finger on it, you never feel that. But if you would slide the handheld around in your, a little bit in your grip, or you go to put your hand on it, you slide your hand over it, you are going to feel that little sharp point. It'll jab you. I mean, it's just a tiny little plastic point. It can do no damn damage, but you're going to go, what the fuck was that? Just enough to make you notice it. So, and you kind of want to, I got the urge to like take sandpaper, and smooth that out. It pisses me off, but I'll get used to it. So, another thing I'm not really liking about it. Now, generally, I don't mind Anbernic's placement of anything. So, but lately, the more and more I use devices like this, the last couple, placing the menu button right on this side has really pissed me off. Because I'll be in the middle of playing, and if you use hotkeys like I do, well, I got to hit that and that at the same time to quick save. So doing it like this will cause my hand to slip off the menu button and just hit R, or just toggle the menu on mid-game instead of being able to hit both and quick save. So I got to take my hand off of it, turn, save. If I want to fast forward, I got to go, I can't hit this and easily hit that trigger back there. I got to hit this. I got to hit these two. So this shit doesn't work mid-game. So I got to like pull my whole grip apart, pull my hand off of it, hold that, and then press this. And this is where I've noticed many times that I'll hold the menu button down and I'll press here and miss completely to fast forward. So I'll do this, and then of course my hand's a little more, angled, so I'm missing completely. So I got to actually force myself to extend that finger out to hit R2 for fast forward. Now I know I can go in and change the hotkeys. I know I can do that. Keep in mind, this review is also for people that are gonna get this and they don't want to know how, or even will consider making changes to the system because they're not used to it. They're gonna buy this because they just want to use it. They just want to play on it. They don't want to tweak it. This is also for them. So the rest of you out there that have handhelds, been in this, you're like me. You can change the hotkey setup and you can adjust it however you want. I'm probably going to be too lazy to do that myself on this device. So I did kind of make sure it was menu and then close. So I did that myself. All right, let's jump into it. I think we'll save GBA for last. So definitely limited it just to games, or just to those few systems, because that's all I want to play on it. I can tell you right now, this has already given me, I don't know what to say, motivation to just run a bunch of GBA. All right, here's the volume situation. So one tap over, 17%. Oh, I got one up. But if you delay if you don't just flick it, quick flick, you'll get about 1-2%. But if you're doing something and you just normal movement, slide it over and stop, that's like a whole 20% jump. It's pretty sensitive. There's not much they could do to fix that. It's not a big problem. I just pointing it out that it's there. All right. And I haven't used just a regular Game Boy Advance layout in a while, so this start and select being over here, I keep filling around up here and here for start or select, and they're both right here. All right. Oh, that's right, Mario 2. I play Peach all day, every day. I'm trying to get my reflected image off screen here. Sorry, guys. Would you focus? Oh, wait. Let me try this. Oh, that's a little better. All right. Got a little Mario 2 action. So, what I like to do with these, so you get the borders and all that. I'm not a fan of that. So, I'll go in, I'll kill off the overlay. And after I'm done doing review videos, I normally set this type of stuff up permanently. But I'm going to jump into scaling, full, go back, start, bam, full screen. Now that, in this resolution, this aspect ratio, I got my hand on the dial for focus, sorry. There we go. So now we're full screen Nintendo. It looks so good. The colors are very nice with this screen. I mean, I'm always talking about green and red. Look how deep and dark that red is. I don't have to change anything else. Not like I did with the brick. It looks great. I would go up there and grab the little potion to open the door, guys, so no one getting comments and say, you missed something. No, I was around when this game came out, okay? So, hush. Well, like I said, even with the small D-pad, I haven't noticed any issues doing anything or playing anything. Anybody else? No, it's been a long time since I played this anyway. Alright. So, I got that set up so I can just do that. So that was Nintendo. Once you put it to full screen, it looks great. I know some people like kind of that border that says Nintendo or Super Nintendo, and they like the bezel. I'd rather just full screen it. I'm not a purist, though, so I don't need exact pixel perfect. I don't need integer scaling. I don't really care. If it looks good to me and it's full screen, I'm good. Game Boy, I haven't even messed with Game Boy on this. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to commit a cardinal sin of retro gaming here, and I'm going to blow up Game Boy to try and fit this resolution. I'm going to try and stretch it. So, for those of you that are purists with integer scaling and they want pixel perfect, then turn this off now, because I'm going to upset you. I'm doing it right now. You shouldn't be here. You should go. Oh, no, you fucked up. You stayed. Why'd you stay? Because you know it's probably still going to letterbox that, huh? It's so good. So, yeah, it's going to letterbox. I mean, it is what it is. I don't care. I'd rather have the green there and then a stupid little border that says Game Boy. See right there. Hold on. I'm barely touching that, and I was trying to hit it. So my normal comfortable grip, I'm barely touching R2. I have to focus to hit it with my finger because, right, look, that's my normal grip. It's a little bit too short. It's just a little too short. And when they showed the design, I thought that. I was talking to my best friend, my brother, my sponsor to this channel. I was telling him, I was like, does that not look too short? That looks like you're going to miss the fucking thing. Initially, I was like, fuck that device. It is. It's a little too short. It's pissing me off. I mean, for the games I'm going to be playing on it, it's not a huge deal. It's not. Alright, because I'm going to be playing mainly, well, Game Boy Advanced on it. So it's not that big of a deal. Just when I'm trying to, use the menu or hotkey in some way, that will cause a problem. But just my normal comfortable grip, my finger's missing it. It's up against the side of it. And you can't press in on it at all. You got to go down on it. And a decent distance, so let's listen for fast forward. Okay, you ready? There it is. So right there it gives. So if your finger's sitting like mine was, you have to press a lot with the very end of your finger to get it that distance. Damn, I didn't clip those. No comment on that shit. I'll clip them. Anyway. So, there's Game Boy. Which, I randomly stop and play a Game Boy game now and again. I had a Game Boy Pocket. I loved my Game Boy Pocket to death, okay? I even told a story to a guy that we were in one of the comments on one of my videos and was explaining I had a Game Boy Pocket with Link's Awakening. And when I was younger, I was a terror. I can't even tell you guys some of the shit I did because you wouldn't even believe it. But one summer, my parents were tired of the things me and my brother was doing, and they decided they needed to keep an eye on me. So what they did is they had me sit on the couch in the living room. That way they can see me. I couldn't leave the couch. Like if I had to go to the bathroom or something, they would follow me down the hallway and stand outside the door. Well, one time I was able to get my Game Boy Pocket, into my pocket. And I'd be sitting on the couch, and I was just like to the right of the TV, so my dad would be sitting there watching TV dead ahead of him, and off in his peripheral to the right was me on the couch. Well, eventually what I did was I slipped the Game Boy Pocket in between the couch cushions down in the back. And I would just sit there for a while. I don't want to jump right on it. I don't want him to make him think something's going on. And then eventually I'd lay down on the couch. I'd roll over facing the inside of the couch, reach in, pull out the Game Boy Pocket, hide it, or I'd push open the couch cushions and have that little crack in there and try and play Link's Awakening where nobody could see it. Volume all the way down, praying that eventually I didn't feel my dad's eyes come over me and look down at what I was doing. Never got caught. Sadly, the struggle was batteries. At one point, the batteries died in the thing. My dad got up to go to the bathroom. I pulled the batteries out of my Game Boy Pocket, ran over to the TV remote, swapped in my dead batteries, took his good batteries, stuck them in the pocket, went and sat down. He got aggravated, went and got brand new batteries, stuck them in the remote. As soon as he walked off, I swapped back and got me brand new batteries in the pocket. Ha! Okay. Anyway, I don't have too many memories of handheld gaming when I was a kid. I had a Game Boy Pocket. that was it. I didn't have a DMG. I never got a Game Boy Color, never got an Advanced, an SP, never got a DS. Like, all those I got as an adult. And in the last, 10 years. All right, let's play some Game Boy Color. Let's pull up Crystal. Oh, I accidentally hit left and right. All right, let's pull up some Game Boy Color. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to go in. We're going to leave that on so everybody can see it. Look, I got a green but a yellow Game Boy Color. I'm going to remove the overlay. I'm going to blow this shit up. So, once again, if you're a purist, get the hell out of here. I'm about to sicken you. Right now. Alright, no more overlay. Videos, go to scaling. Now, if you hit integer scaling, I've noticed on this one, it just kind of, you see this? How it throws it off to the side and it doesn't. You see that? How it's all off to the left now? Anyway. So be careful messing with it because you're going to find yourself with the game all the way off to the left. And it's probably just because it's set on a custom aspect ratio. So let's full screen it. Here we go. And if I really messed with regular Game Boy, I could stretch it to the full screen. But for people that are not scared to go in and adjust scaling, but don't really want to get down to fully making a custom aspect ratio by stretching it all out yourself, I do it the way I do it. Alright, let's fast forward. I can tell you right now, that is difficult to do. Once again, that's really difficult to hit and hold down. Like, I have to adjust my grip up higher to make that more comfortable. Sucks. See, now that my grip's adjusted, my finger's all the way on it. But that's not comfortable anywhere else. Now my hand feels too high. So, see, this left side's normal grip, barely there, and that's all the way on it. So, you kind of have to adjust for that. If you do, though, fast forward's easy to hit. Oh, sorry, I'm off camera. So, okay, so now we're looking at Game Boy Color. It looks great on here, too, okay? The only thing I haven't really been impressed with is regular Game Boy on it. But Game Boy Color looks great. We're going to blast the sound. You guys want? No. We're not blast. I got one we're going to blast the sound on. We're going to do sound test on Game Boy Advanced. Okay? Anyway. Looks great. I know some of you guys, like I said, they're out there like, well, that's a little off. And you can see how this is, a pixel or two over. Shut up. Okay? Shut up. I think it looks good. I'd play the shit out of Game Boy Color just like this, and I'm going to. So if this sickens you, at some time in the middle of the night when you're happy and cozy and warm in bed, just know I'm somewhere in the world doing this. Think about that. Feel bad. Okay, anyway. All right, I'm going to exit the hell out of here. I do like having the quick button setup where you just those two for exit, those two to pull up the menu instead of having to hit the little button. Alright, I'm doing Game Boy Advance last. Sorry, I keep lowering my hands because I'm just resting them. Alright. What are we going to test? You know what we're going to test on here. Get out of here. Last night I put on some Super Nintendo on here and just loved the way it looked. I don't know why. Maybe I was just in a mood. Alright, killing overlay. I haven't done much with this if you haven't figured that out. I got in late last night and didn't have too much of a chance to mess with it. So I got to set up an SD card and test a game and then go to bed. Look how fucking pretty that is. I could just let this play. It's like I'm playing through the whole game with you guys. Do you think they're going to find me guilty? Love that part. When I was a kid, I just fell in love with this game. It's still one of my absolute favorites. If you guys have never played Chrono Trigger in your life, I have a t-shirt with X/ on it, just like that. If you guys have never played Chrono Trigger, and you find yourself at a point in time in your life that you have difficulty sitting and reading and paying attention to the story of a game. You find yourself just rushing through it to get to the gameplay because you don't care about the story, and you keep thinking to yourself, man, when I was younger, I got so into the story. I would talk to everybody, I would watch the dialogue, I would read everything, I wanted to do everything. It was like playing out a book or a movie in my mind. I loved it. But currently, you just can't do that for some reason. You're impatient. You know, it comes with age, guys. You have less patience for things. If you find yourself at that stage with gaming, especially, and you haven't played Chrono Trigger, this is a sad part that's playing out right there. If you haven't done it, if you haven't played Chrono Trigger, and you're at that point with gaming, go play Chrono Trigger, and just for a little bit, give it. I'll tell you what, 2 hours. Get 2 hours into the game, not 2 hours. You know, you started the game and you set it down and come back a half hour later, then give it an hour and a half after. No. 2 hours of game time in the game. Even if you play for 45 minutes and stop, give it another hour or 15. But read the story, follow it, pay attention, do everything you can, and within that 2 hour time limit, it'll renew your love and your want to get into the story of a game. Chrono Trigger is one of the best games ever. And as a kid, I fell in love with this game. There was a lot of hard times when I was growing up. A lot of things going on around me that kids got to deal with. And I lost myself in video gaming when I was a kid. It took me out of my life for a little while. And with the exception of Final Fantasy 5, 6, 7, 8, yep, 5, 6, 7, and 8, Beyond the Beyond, Breath of Fire 3, Chrono Trigger. Chrono Trigger was one of the biggest ones of my childhood life. Anyway, look how good it looks on here. Back to this shit. Look how good it looks. It looks great. All right? The 34XX might as well be a Super Nintendo device. It might as well be aimed at that because I think it looks amazing. If you don't, I don't care. All right, on to Game Boy Advance. This review is getting a little long. We're approaching a half hour, and I'm not even a guy who tears everything down and gets into the internals. You know what I mean? All right, Game Boy Advance, and another one that is very near and dear to me, and we're going to use it for an audio test. That's right. Final Fantasy VI. This game meant so much to me when I was a kid. Me and my brother traded, I believe, my Pokemon Blue that I got with my Game Boy Pocket, traded it for the Final Fantasy Anthology for PlayStation, and it came with Final Fantasy V, Final Fantasy VI, and a soundtrack CD to 5 and 6. And I could play the Final Fantasy V pirate theme for hours, okay? I could blare that shit. It is awesome. Final Fantasy VI, though, that marched through the snow, I should probably show it in another video. The music for that, it's just like the Metal Gear Solid opening to me, okay? It's nostalgia. I love it. It's amazing. It's like the Chrono Trigger soundtrack. It's all of it. I would play the game just to hear the music again. So, we're going to test audio. All right, I'm going full blast, guys. Warning, I'm going full. All right, I'm going to turn it up. All right, this is facing you. And for everybody else in the room, side. This is the side without the speaker. side with the speaker. Under. I know everybody's like, why every side? I just want you to hear the 360, like what it sounds all the way around this device. I keep forgetting to bring up my portable monitor and test HDMI out for these. I will eventually. Alright, let's go down to as close as we can get to 50%. Oh, dead on 50. Okay, here's 50%. For people sitting next to you. That's what this is for. Love that music. Beautiful music. Anyway. So as for GBA and the scaling, as you noticed, I didn't have to fix anything. I don't have anything to take off. I don't have to go in and blow anything up. It's just here and available. It's already there. Okay, it's set up for it by default. And it fucking looks great, guys. It looks absolutely gorgeous on this screen. Get closer. Let's get really close. Let's get really close. Let's see if I can adjust it for you to see it this close. Oh. Are you? Oh, grab your controller. You guys control it from here. I don't think I can get it to focus this close. I'm trying. Nope. I earned 32 EXP. Let's lower the volume because I probably killed you with that. Well, 10% is kind of low. Biggs gained a level. Wedge gained a level. Question mark Terra did not gain a level. Lazy. Anyway. So, yeah, this is what Game Boy Advance looks like on here, guys. It's great. It does exactly what it's meant for. You know, it makes the games look as good as they do. The buttons are great. Okay? The buttons feel like anbernic buttons, everybody. The D-pad's a little small. Got to get used to start and select being down here. Got to get used to L2, R2 being shortened. Got to get used to the sharp jabby point on the backside. You know, aside from those things, which none of them are big. None of them are big problems, okay? They're all small, little annoyances that'll fade with time. You know, you'll care less and less. With the exception of that, this thing is worth every penny. It's absolutely amazing. Okay, it was set out, you know, they set out to do a Game Boy Advance, a modern Game Boy Advance, and they done it. They did that, okay? I know most of us felt that way with the 35XX SP, but this does it better, okay? It's not a clamshell, who cares? It does it better. It feels solid in your hands. It feels right. It's a good size. The small D-pad, you get used to it, okay? It's worth it. Okay, they set out to, like I said, they set out to do Game Boy Advance games on a modern Game Boy Advance. They did it with the bonus of Super Nintendo looking amazing along with it. It is a Game Boy Advance / Super Nintendo beast. And if those two systems are big to you, if that's what you gravitate to, if every time you pick up a handheld you're playing Super Nintendo or Game Boy Advance or a mix of the two, go get it. Don't hesitate. Don't sit at the checkout and the shipping screen and think, do I really want it? Am I gonna use it? You'll use it. Okay? This will break the cycle. You'll use it. Hit checkout. Go ahead and do it. It's worth it, okay? Alright guys, I'm gonna leave it at that. Eventually, you know, I might do gameplay of some stuff later down the road. Showcase this a little more because I really do love this device right now. Absolutely love the setup. Who needs a damn stick when you're playing GBA and Super Nintendo, right? It's great. So I'll do some Let's Plays or some shit on it. I might even set up my capture card and do it right for some of you. I'm kidding. No one really hated that. Yeah, I'll see you guys next time. We got more handhelds on the way. The Pocket Micro that our sponsor is sending us to review, he let me know it was delayed a day, so we were going to get that. I think I would have to look again, but I think shipping was set for tomorrow. I feel like tomorrow was when it was supposed to show up. So if that's not going to happen, it'll be Friday. So we might end my, week long or my 5-day, you guys know I only do Monday through Friday videos, and then I spend time with the family Saturday and Sunday. So we'll end my, my content week, hopefully. No, it'll show up on the day. So we'll start my next week with that handheld. How about that? All right, guys, if you have any questions about the 34XX, any comments, or if you have one and you want to put your own 2 cents in, go right ahead. Let me know what you think. While you were watching the video, what did you think about Super Nintendo on it? I'm really curious about that. Also, side note, off of the main topic of the handheld, who the fuck in here loves Chrono Trigger? You know what I mean? Let's go in the comments, man. Who's your team on Chrono Trigger? Who is your 3 go-to people? Let me know. I'm really curious about that. I really want to know. I want to know. Okay. All right, guys, I got to get off here. I got shit to do. I will see you in the next one. Much love. I'm going to get to work. If you're at work or wasting time or whatever, man, get back to work.